Mic check 1, 2, 3.
So now we can talk to an actual fan, to one of the teams that we're talking about today. Danny, your team managed to scrape out. I didn't manage. It was
It was iffy.
It was 70th minute. They tied it up, and then Harry Kane decided to wake up in the last 5 minutes. Final result to that was 3-1. Aston Villa led as early as the 9th minute until the 73rd minute, where Ndombele had his debut goal. How was your perception on his goal and his performance in this first game?
What was expected, and then some, obviously.
Yeah.
But my main point is, I have no idea why they keep playing Lamela.
Yeah,
Lamela just never impressed me with anything.
And no, after his injury, I think he was impressive before he got injured, like 2 seasons ago, and then after that, he just never was able to get back.
One of those potentials that just never came.
Yeah.
You saw how the game completely changed because of Eriksen. Eriksen is just the man. He's the man on that team, and I just put all my faith in Eriksen.
Yeah, and actually, you bring Eriksen up. He was subbed in late.
Yeah.
Obviously, with all the rumors going on, that's why I didn't want to really bring him on yet.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is that foreshadowing his departure from Spurs this season? Transfer was still open for some clubs. So
I wouldn't say foreshadowing, but
does it make you nervous?
Definitely, because I think he's a quality player that can go anywhere really, and do the work.
Yeah, he can. This game, Aston Villa looked solid.
I know people keep talking about Villa.
They didn't look bad.
They look solid, man. Defensively, they're very disciplined. And the Villa had that banger, which was, that came out of nowhere.
Was it Aston Villa the one team that they came up, but they lost like 12 other players? Every player they had were loan players, and they had to kind of rebuild the whole team.
Correct.
They
signed the most amount of bodies in this window, so yeah, that was. It was interesting to see that.
They were the highest spenders, weren't they?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they spent a lot. But I know because a lot of their last season's team was loans.
Yeah,
everybody was loans. So 12 players left. So they technically had to rebuild the whole team.
Whole fucking squad.
If I'm gonna say, I'll correct myself if it's wrong.
I think you're right because I actually did see that Aston Villa spent more than Arsenal. We had a busy transfer.
Yeah, we spent like over 200, close to 200,
145 there. But yeah, that's then again, Aston Villa is one of the founding teams of the Premier League.
Yes.
Right.
So they are like a founding father. It should be amongst the first slate. But yeah, no, who really impressed me was what's that guy's name? The cute guy. Homo.
The cute guy.
Pretty boy.
I don't play in the Premier League.
Pretty boy with the hair.
Yeah, this is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We now figured out how Erik identifies players.
The ugly guy, the pretty one, the pretty boy.
Those guys
on the middle one.
The shoes, come on, you saw it. I'm getting those.
I think you're talking about when you said hair. I think you're talking about Jack Grealish.
No, that's the cute he was talking about.
You said hair.
He's like, oh.
You said hair is Jack Grealish. I read something where there was a stat where they said Jack Grealish has lost every single Premier League match that he's played in his career.
I think it was the last 12 Premier League matches.
I thought it was 19.
I remember seeing 19.
Maybe, yeah,
I remember seeing 19, and then the guy was trolling him. He's like putting the L in Grealish.
I think he had a good performance.
I know he did. Him and that guy McGinn looked really good.
Yeah.
In the back, Tyrone Mings. Dang, Danny had it on deck.
You already had a screenshot of
19
him.
Premier League games.
19.
You already had a screenshot of him.
No.
In the background now.
I'm thinking about how to do my hair next.
You didn't have that screenshot because he's a cute guy too.
It's cute, everything, but hair is everything.
You guys are all beautiful to me.
They look good, bro. I think, and I also think in the back, Tyrone Mings look really, really solid. And of course, it doesn't mean anything because they still conceded really late and they conceded 3 times. But I agree with everyone else. I think Villa is going to have hopefully more to show.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that's great news fantasy wise because that means that you got some cheap players that
Yeah, for real.
that might give some returns.
Just
later on.
judging by Aston Villa and Norwich, I think it's gonna be a decent mid-table.
Scrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So it should be fun.
This is gonna be a fun season. Well, again, and then finalize the game. Kane had a brace in the last 4 minutes to win it 3-1 at home. Harry Kane, bro. I did not think he was gonna wake up. He's there.
He broke his August duck.
Oh, word.
Oh
He
shit.
broke his August duck. That's a few seasons running that he's never scored in August.
Well, that's a good start for us then. But else, Arsenal, which we'll take to the next game, where Arsenal traveled to Newcastle, and we already tied our record for clean sheets last season. Let's go!
Away clean sheets.
Let's go.
Away clean sheets.
Away clean sheets. We already tied. Look,
Out of
this-
19 possible.
Let me finish. Arsenal are so good this season.
Oh my god.
We already tied our last season's clean sheet record away. Like,
It's impressive.
they were other team that did it already.
No one.
It should be the title of the video.
But Arsenal set the record.
Arsenal sets record.
There you go. There you go, Mark. Write it down. Again, like I said, Arsenal traveled to Newcastle. This game, in a lot of people's eyes, was going to be a draw for Arsenal just because of the squad that he came out with. But also on the Newcastle side, they're not a strong opposition, so it should have been an easy game to begin with. And there's a lot of turmoil going on in there.
Yes.
There's fans going on strike with the team. 9,000 empty seats.
Yeah, they're boycotting the team. Reason why is because Benito left.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to give him the support that he
Exactly. He's like,
Yeah,
all right,
I
you
guess-
guys don't want to
I
give me
guess
what
I
I'm
got you,
asking
yeah.
for. Because I'm assuming he's not asking for much. It just wasn't asking for enough to bring in players, quality players, maybe cheap ones.
And they also lost the opportunity to get that oil money.
Exactly. So they're like, okay, we guys don't want to listen to us, then we won't go to the games. And like you said, 19,000 seats were 9,000,
Yeah, 9,000 seats.
which is crazy.
It's like
And
a
still,
block,
they
like an empty
actually
block.
played really good. I'm excited to
They played
see
decent.
Saint Maxim.
Oh, yeah, Maxim from the new kid that came in from League One.
Yo,
League One?
I like once he walked into the field,
The game changed.
I was like, shit, something's gonna happen.
And if this contraption on my microphone that you guys can see right now this represents Arsenal's defense, just barely put together.
Anything could like just.
And
Don't
they're-
anything that hold it
But I guess the big takeaways for this game was, again, Arsenal did go out with his weakest lineup, and the weakest lineup did consist of a 20-year-old in Guendouzi, a 20-year-old in Reece Nelson, two academy players in Maitland-Niles, two academy players in Reece Nelson and Willock.
Plus a returning player, which is Chambers.
Plus a returning chamber. Yeah, he didn't get that many starts last season, but he looked solid.
So how do you guys feel about that? A lot of people. I was reading that. Like a few fans were upset about the fact that Emery yet again comes out with a completely different lineup, and he's still changing stuff around because you didn't have Lacazette, you didn't have any of the new signings start.
See, these are just people who just want to see the big names come out and just all of a sudden just start doing shit. No, Lacazette's hurt. He doesn't have enough minutes under his belt yet. Pepe
Right.
just came in. He hasn't changed
Yeah,
his squad.
but he
got
has his own
15
song.
minutes in.
Oh, he has his own style. What ain't going on, dog?
He got 15 minutes in, and even though it was only 15 minutes, he had that much time on the ball, you still saw that he does have that niche to want to go at somebody and just cross them out, which is something that we need.
Yeah.
Who else? Bellerin and Holden, obviously they're hurt. So he put up a team out there that has the match fitness, that has had that, and he proved it last season where the players that he gets in preseason and that do consistently good, he plays them in the regular season. Guendouzi was a prime example of last season.
Yeah, he started off with those last
In
season.
preseason,
Little by little,
phenomenal.
he went into transition into Torreira, but Guendouzi was starter for him.
Exactly. And this preseason, the most of the focus was on Willock and Reece Nelson, and they're going to start, which is what Arsenal as a club want. They want the kind of players to come through. Like every Premier League club wants that.
Right.
So I wasn't mad with it. I was kind of upset with the result being 1-0. I wanted it to be more of a gap there, but we had the clean sheet. Aubameyang had a nice ass finish. clean finish.
For Miles, right?
Take the clean
From-
sheet, bro.
Huh?
Take the clean sheet.
Hey man, I think I'm happy with it.
That's the bigger.
That's a big thing, man. That's
That's
huge
a word
because
right there.
they did come out of throws a couple times. You know, Almiron didn't look bad. He was.
I mean,
he
don't
impressed
for
me.
diving, baby.
No, I mean, he impressed me. I was watching him.
After that dive, you saw him pressuring.
Yeah.
You saw him running on the field, putting the pressure on him.
He's a workhorse right there.
He really is, and that was pretty good. Aside from that,
What about reports about Ozil and Kolasinac?
That's tough.
it's I don't know what to comment on it besides the fact that they think it's gang members that are either upset with the fact that Kolasinac, a football player, came out and pretty much scared away two knife wielding.
What did Ricky say?
Don't bring a knife to a gunner fight. Oh fucking day. Yeah, I mean they don't know what. There's no actual reports on what's actually going on, but
Yeah,
there are people. There was two arrests outside of
keep saying
Ozil's house.
security detail.
Yeah.
all that stuff.
So they're worried that something can happen while they are being moved from one stadium to another with the team be affected by it. So I think Emery already came out saying that there's a possibility that neither one of them is going to make it to the next game.
Dang.
And
It
what really
sucks.
scares me though is that are these guys do they want to stay in London, because this is the problem going on in London right now. Robberies and muggings happening a lot. The hooligans. But I mean, that's gonna maybe steer some players to want to stay away from London.
Right.
So we'll see what that happens, how that happens.
I just hope it doesn't keep going because that's a huge hit for your team for no reason.
Yeah,
For no reason.
literally,
Those are two
it's not even
key
soccer
players.
related. It's
Yeah.
just purely just fucking people being assholes.
Yeah, just
Pretty
hate, just
much.
pure hate.
That's
What we living nowadays. So after the game, Arsenal won that 1-0. I could talk for hours about Arsenal, so I'll make sure we just go on to the next
Please
game.
Go get your jersey, dog.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, my man.
Oh, wait, and lastly, I mean, this was the game that everybody was waiting for. This was probably the great way to kick off the Premier League season.
Yeah.
Game week 1. I wish we had a Chelsea fan here today.
I really do too. Man.
I wish to record everybody's reaction on Sunday. We watched the game because rare occasion we were able to watch with 3 Chelsea fans,
Yeah.
which is Fernando, Brazil,
Palacios.
and Palacios, which they were here last recording, and the comments between them and each other, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was like, Brazil's very technical. He's like this and that, and then of course Palacios is very passionate. So
Smacking the floor.
Oh my God.
He's like, I thought your foot broke his hand for a second, bro.
last time he did it for Rebels game. He actually got in purple.
Remember that?
Yeah, and he injured his hand.
Yeah, bruises. shit.
He's like what?
He smacked the wall because he got
Oh.
so upset he bruised his hand. Yeah, he gets really
You had to do
upset.
that real hard, though.
Huh?
For that to happen.
Yeah, no, he was pissed.
No, yeah,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
pissed.
True. Fucking. All right, so actually, kind of what you said, but watching the game in Brazil it's a different experience because I mean, we look at the game, we see the tactics, and we just he's doing 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-2, whatever. But he actually because he went with one of his friends who's also a coach
And a Man U fan.
and a Man U fan too.
Nice.
So
Nice.
they really dove into like each individual play that happened. Like, oh, you saw what this happened, this spread out, that player got stretched out. But he's pressing everybody instead of pressing, they got stretched. It really got technical, and then it kind of opened our eyes in a way. I feel like that we don't really look at the game that way.
Yeah, no, you don't.
But Manchester United completely took advantage of Chelsea. 4-0.
Yeah, and for the first 20 minutes of the game, it didn't seem like
It
it was going
didn't
to be
seem
that way.
that way.
It seemed like it was going to. I mean, my eyes, for the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, even after the first goal, I still felt that Chelsea was going to catch up, and it was going to end up with a tie. No, once you ran with it. It was like, no, holding you guys back. It was like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Let's show what we can do kind of thing. I'm like, shit.
So Diego, before you give us your review of your first game for Manchester United, do you think if Chelsea would have gotten maybe that first goal, they could have gotten the first 20 minutes, the game would have been completely reversed?
I've been actually getting this a lot from a lot of people that were chirping, man. A lot of people were chirping about the fact that someone said to me that kind of like similar to what we were saying with Norwich, that the scoreline was unfair, that it was unfair to Chelsea. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like they had chances, they just didn't put them away. That's not unfair. That's unlucky. That's undisciplined. You know, there's a ball that went right across the box that Tammy Abraham could have just toe poked in. And unfortunately, that's his debut. He was inexperienced, like not all debuts can score a goal, like when they're first, getting on the pitch, like Daniel James. So trying him out.
I knew that was coming.
So he's not Daniel James quality. That's all I'm saying. But
you had beforehand.
but then you also have people like you had the Emerson shot that hit off the bar. That looked like
shots on goal.
That looked like Emerson looked more deadly on attack than the entirety of Chelsea's attack during that first period. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's unfair. I just think that they're in Chelsea was in a position where they hadn't figured stuff out yet. They were gelling a little bit during preseason, and then some of the players which were there, previous to the Lampard, I guess like appointment, I guess, they were doing a bit more than the new guys. But unfair, I don't think so. If they had, back to your original question though, if Chelsea had gotten a goal, I think it would have made the game maybe a little more interesting as far as like the neutral's perspective to see something from both sides. But again, Lampard made choices that some of the Chelsea fans also were questioning, or myself questioning, like benching Pulisic.
Yes.
Was a big one.
Take me to that one. I was actually go there next.
Benching Pulisic. He did come out and say that, what was his quote? He was like, we don't have internationals and there are a few players that are injured, but I don't want to make excuses. And it's like, if you're not making excuses, then why are you bringing it up? Like, we know that N'Golo Kante wasn't going to start.
International?
I guess he's talking about his players. I don't know. He's saying that he was saying basically to the press that there was a reason why they didn't, do as well as they was expected of them, because they had missing key players. They had missing players because of injuries or whatever. Anyway. It still was. I think at the end, United probably would have come out on top, whether that was a 2-1 or a 3-1. I think the fact that they hit him for, what was it? That animation in FIFA when you score twice really quick and you hit him with both barrels, that commentary or whatever that I was thinking about, when United scored in like 90 seconds, they scored twice. You have the Martial goal, and then right off a kickoff, 90 seconds later, you have the ridiculous like Pogba lofted ball to Rashford for 3-0.
When he had the 1-on-1.
Yeah, when he had the 1-on-1, which was amazing. Which is amazing pass. But I'm running off. Still, I think that at the end, I think by the 90 minutes, United would have still won that game, because Chelsea, I guess it was shown that they just aren't disciplined to the point where they can win a game. So I thought it was great. It was a great way to start the season. Pogba putting 2 assists in, Martial having as many take-ons in this one game as he did when he first joined. Just a lot of stats. That one crazy stat, which was when United are leading at halftime at Old Trafford, they have never lost. And they have 263 wins, 16 draws, and 0 losses, like in history.
How far back is that going? Which is
I think they're counting back to like the inception of Premier League. In 92, if I'm not mistaken, which I think would count. I guess like modern Premier League stats. I don't know if they would include anything beyond that. So
let me set up the numbers.
But it was awesome. It was awesome to watch.
So not to suck more of Martial's dick and everything, but let's take it to the backside.
Good segue.
The defense.
Oh my god, damn.
Actually, side note, if you want to get some good fantasy points, pick up Martial. He's listed as a midfielder, but he's playing as a striker.
Correct.
So he's
those OOP out of position players.
Yes.
So they're listed in the game as a different position than what they're actually playing in real life. So if Martial were a forward, he would only be scoring 4 points per goal. But since he's listed as a midfielder in the game and being deployed as a forward by Solskjaer, he's actually going to get more than that. He would be
more goals, more assists.
5 goals per game. So that's a
I
good
know
shout.
I'm dropping.
That's a good shout.
Wow, I have to do my research. But no, again, let's get to the backside where United did stock up on what they need with what Mourinho was asking for, and mentioning that they finally got. Well, give your perspective on that a little bit later,
Word.
overtime. But Maguire and Wan-Bissaka.
They look
Solid performances.
Yeah, they look comfortable, man. They look solid. Definitely. Wan-Bissaka more. I've been seeing that, but Maguire definitely had a huge impact in the back as far as I guess being a leader. So I don't know. I just kept thinking about on Thursday all those laughing Chelsea heads. Just like as soon as you say 80 mil and all those guys just laughing their asses off, and I'm over here 4 goals later. So I'm chilling, man. 4 goals later and a clean sheet.
I'm still waiting for our matchup to come, so I'll stay quiet till then.